In our most recent Combat Robotics tournament, Chase and our coach headed down to the University of Houston for the Cougar Cup. For this tournament, they took down 6 robots. The first two that they took down were the 2 Turnabot Fairyweights that we modified to have better ground game. The red one didn't do very well. Just struggled to get control points and to dictate the match, so it did not do very well. The blue one did very well, so we'll be going through its run through the tournament in just a little bit. They also took down 2 plastic Antweights, Drumroll and Minefield, both with oversized drums in the front. They both got some big hits at times throughout the tournament, but just didn't do very well because they struggled with durability. And the last 2 that they brought to the tournament was Overkill and a Synthwave robot. The Synthwave just being your typical Synthwave kit robot. Overkill being a overpowered plastic ant pushbot with beetle weight motors inside of a Antweight robot. Synthwave did not do as well in this tournament as we hoped it would. However, it did receive some massive hits and had one of probably the most memorable matches of this tournament for us. Overkill, it did really well this tournament. So just like the blue Fairyweight, we will be going through its run through the tournament in this video. So to start things off, we'll be going through the blue Fairyweights trip through the tournament. In its first match, Chase went up against Logan from Sub-Zero and his 150-gram version of the real thing, I guess. So that was really cool. This match was a really close, back and forth battle all the way. Sub-Zero would get a couple of slams into the wall and slam Chase into the wall, and then Chase had a couple times where he flipped Sub-Zero on its back, and it was this very back and forth battle. Like I said, a lot of pushing matches, and so it was I thought a very exciting match to watch. So yeah, it was very close. It all ended at the end when Chase sent Sub-Zero flying into the pit for a knockout. So I thought it was a very well driven match on both sides, and Chase had a nice maneuver there to dish Sub-Zero into the pit. So I thought that was a very good victory for Flip-de-Doo. In its second match, Flip-de-Doo also did very well. Chase did a really good job of driving this match as well. He was much lower than the other robot he went against, so he was consistently getting under it and flipping him over. And one time he flipped him over, and the other robot got stuck on its flipper. So Chase spent the most of the match trying to flip the other robot back on its wheels so he could continue the battle. And at the end, he was successful with about 30 seconds left. So Chase just kept doing good driving and getting the other robot until eventually, finally, with 10 seconds left, he flipped the other robot back over, and they got stuck again. So Chase won that match by knockout. At this point, Flip-de-Doo was 2-0, and Chase had done a really good job driving at this point. He's doing really well. With that win, Chase entered the Fairyweight Championship of a double elimination tournament without any losses. So the person that he faced in the championship had to beat him twice in order to beat him. So all Chase had to do was win 1 out of 2 matches. And in the first match, Chase drove, I've been saying this a lot, but he drove really well. He's drove really well all day. And he got pushed to the robot up against the pit several times, but unfortunately he failed to capitalize and get the knockout. But even still, it was still a back and forth match all the way. The other robot almost tossed Chase in the pit a couple times, and so it ended up going to a judge's decision, which was obviously a tough judge's decision because of how back and forth it was. But Chase ended up losing the judge's decision, so they moved on to the final match of the entire tournament of the championship. So the winner of that match was gonna win the championship. And this one, Chase didn't do quite as well. He kind of got delivered around the arena a lot and slammed into several different walls, and he almost got tossed into the pit several times. So he did not drive as well in this match as he did in the previous 3 matches, but I thought he still did pretty well. Unfortunately, he lost this match as well to another judge's decision, so he did not win, but he still got second. So he did really well that tournament, and I thought the robot was functioning very well all day. And so now on to Overkill's matches. In Overkill's first match, they went up against a egg beater spinner robot. So yeah, this match was a tough match for Chase, but I thought he drove well. Chase got flipped over early, but was able to rewrite himself and get a couple of nice pins in throughout the match. And I thought he controlled the match really nicely and got some nice control points and aggression points. And he just, yeah, I mean, he was able to control the other robot well and use his overpowered drive to his advantage, and ended up winning a judge's decision. In Overkill's second match, Chase went up against a really hard-hitting horizontal spinner robot. In this match, Chase did not do as well. The other robot just kept sending him flying around the arena and had some really hard hits, so Chase struggled to really control this match. And in the end, he ended up getting knocked out. The other robot blasted all of his wheels off, and it was a little bit difficult for him to drive without any wheels, so he ended up losing to knockout. In Overkill's third match, Chase drove really well. He went up against the same robot that he went up against in his first match, and kind of went to work the same way he did in that first match. Once again, he got some nice pins in, and used the other robot's gyro against it, so he kept the robot off balance and kept, distributing the robot to other different parts of the arena, and it got some nice aggression and control points there. And yeah, Chase he drove really well in this match and was able to win a judge's decision. That win put Chase in the Plastic Ant Championship, and against the bot that he went up against in his second match, the hard-hitting horizontal spinner robot that So yeah, Chase didn't do very good in this match. Just like in his second match, this robot kept Chase off balance, and Overkill, being a control bot, needs to kind of be able to stay balanced and control the match. And this robot that he went up against in the championship just kept him off balance. Like I said, he delivered hard hits to Overkill and knocked the wheels off and did a lot of damage, and Chase was never able to kind of settle into the match, and Chase ended up getting losing to knockout because he had no wheels, and just Overkill it really struggles when it has no wheels. So most robots do, and this match Chase lost his wheels and he lost. So anyways, yeah, so Overkill overall did really good in this tournament. Ended up obviously getting second, just like Flip-de-Doo. So I thought it was a really successful tournament for Overkill and for Flip-de-Doo and for Annihilation Robotics as a whole. I thought it was a successful tournament, and yeah, I'm interested to see how we do in our next Combat Robotics tournament.